It started as nothing more than a simple joke, a harmless remark meant to lighten the mood after a long day. My husband, James, and I had been together for 10 years, and though we loved each other, our routines had settled into predictable patterns. We were comfortable, but maybe too comfortable, like two people who knew each other so well that surprises had become obsolete. One evening, as we sat in our living room, I scrolled through my phone and stumbled upon a viral video of a couple playing pranks on each other. With a mischievous smile, I turned to James and said, "Hey, what if we started playing little jokes on each other? Just to keep things fun." He chuckled, his blue eyes filled with curiosity. "You mean like practical jokes?" "Yeah, nothing serious, just silly stuff." He shrugged. "All right, but don't expect me to go easy on you." The next morning, I left a note in his lunchbox that read, "I put a surprise in here for you." He later texted me, "There was no surprise, just my usual sandwich." Is the surprise that I feel betrayed. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my coffee. A few days later, I opened my closet to find all my shoes tied together with a single string. I had to sit on the floor, laughing, as I untangled them. "Nice one, James," I called out, hearing his triumphant chuckle from the kitchen. The jokes continued, each one escalating slightly but always remaining playful. We felt like teenagers again, sneaking around with lighthearted tricks, waiting to see who would outdo the other. It was all in good fun until the joke that changed everything. One Friday night, I planned something elaborate. I printed out a fake text conversation, making it look like I had been messaging a mysterious Jake about meeting up. I placed it casually on the kitchen counter, knowing James would find it when he grabbed his coffee in the morning. I expected him to laugh when I yelled, "Gotcha?" Instead, when I entered the kitchen, I saw him holding the paper, his face drained of color. His hands trembled slightly as he looked at me. "Is this real?" His voice was quieter than usual, as if he didn't want to believe what he was seeing. My stomach dropped. "James, it's just a joke. Look at the dates. It's fake." He exhaled, gripping the edge of the counter. "You scared me, Lisa." For a second, I thought. He didn't finish his sentence, just shook his head. I reached for him. "I'm so sorry." I didn't think. I just thought it would be funny. He let out a soft chuckle, but it didn't reach his eyes. "You really got me." "But Lisa, jokes should be harmless." "That wasn't harmless." I nodded, my face warm with guilt. "I know. I crossed a line." For the next few days, something was different. James wasn't distant exactly, but he looked at me differently, like he had seen a version of me he never expected. It wasn't anger. It was something more unsettling. Doubt. A week later, we sat together watching TV, but instead of his usual comfortable silence, he blurted out, "Do you think we take each other for granted?" I turned to him, surprised. "What do you mean?" He hesitated. That joke made me think. I believed it for a second, because maybe I feel like we've lost something. Not love, but excitement. My chest tightened. "James, I never meant to hurt you. I was just trying to bring back some fun." He sighed. "I know. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need to do more than just joke around. Maybe we need to find real excitement again." We sat in silence, both realizing that somewhere along the way, our playful bond had been replaced with comfortable routine. The joke had shaken something loose, something unspoken between us. What if we started doing things together? I suggested. New things, like taking a dance class or going on spontaneous weekend trips. James's lips curled into a smile. "I'd like that. And I promise, no more tying your shoes together." I laughed, relief washing over me. "And I promise, no more fake messages." That night, we stayed up talking about things we wanted to do, places we'd never been, experiences we'd never tried. It was the most we had talked in years, and I realized how much I had missed this side of us. A simple joke had shaken my husband's trust, but it had also forced us to confront the stagnancy we had ignored for too long. It made us see each other in a new light, not as the people we had settled into, but as the people we could still become together. And in the end, maybe that was the best joke of all, the one that led us back to each other. As the weeks passed, we made good on our promise. We signed up for a salsa class, something we had always joked about but never committed to. The first few lessons were awkward, filled with missteps and laughter, but soon we found a rhythm together. We also started doing little things outside our comfort zone, taking late-night drives to nowhere, visiting hidden diners in small towns, and even trying rock climbing, something I never thought I would do. With every new experience, I saw James in a different way. He wasn't just my husband. He was my adventure partner, my best friend, the man I fell in love with all over again. And I knew he felt the same about me. One night, after an impromptu road trip that led us to a quiet beach under the stars, he pulled me close and whispered, "You were right about the jokes. They woke us up. But this is what I really missed." I smiled, resting my head against his chest. Me too. The joke had started as a game, a way to bring fun into our lives. But in the end, it had done something greater. It had reminded us of who we were before life became routine. It had reminded us that love isn't just about comfort. It's about growth, adventure, and rediscovering each other over and over again.